Okay, please don't blow up the Twitter machine with notifications or the email this afternoon when the NBA puts out its Christmas Day schedule and the Raptors are left out. That's the way it looks by all reports and, frankly, I'm a bit surprised but not totally. Kyle Lowry and the Raptors appear to have been once again left off the Christmas Day schedule for the 2018-19 season. Richard Loughton's Toronto Star, they were never going to get a home game. Put that thought right out of your mind, because of TV ratings concerns, and I guess they see other rivalries as better ones to exploit and traditions. New York at home, to uphold. Sure, a Toronto at Milwaukee matchup or Toronto at San Antonio would have been sexy games to the local fan base, but I guess not to the league or its broadcast partners. Don't take it personally, it's not some huge snub. It would have been nice, but it doesn't look like it's happening. Article continued below. Life goes on. Besides, there are too many damn games on Christmas Day anyway. There's no reason to dispute the reporting that's out there, that the 5 games are Bucks, Knicks, Thunder, Rockets, Sixers, Celtics, Lakers, Warriors, Blazers, Jazz, and outside of the silly inclusion of the Knicks, those are all legit contests. Get today's top sports stories in your inbox. For headlines from the Star's award-winning sports journalists, sign up for our daily sports newsletter. New York's Christmas Day tradition is hard to deny, even if the team hasn't been remotely relative in almost 2 decades and won't be again this year since Kristaps Porzingis is still out after having knee surgery. That's where I might have slated Toronto-Milwaukee game and letting the Bucks show off their brand new arena, but sadly I'm not in charge. Other than that, with time zones to worry about and broadcast needs to be met, I'm not sure where a Raptors at Spurs game would have fit on that day. Article continued below, but I will repeat, once again, it's not some well-thought-out conspiracy at NBA HQ or at the homes of TNT or ESPN. It's business and you can't ever keep everyone happy in business. I know the players would like to play on Christmas Day, it's a much bigger deal to some of them than it is to even fans or their bosses, but I also know there are people who'd rather spend quiet time with their families that day while allowing the back-of-house workers around franchises to likewise have a holiday off. This happened last week and it made me almost laugh out loud, but then my mind went the way my mind sometimes goes and I forgot to mention it Friday or Monday. There was an MLS transaction involving the local 11 and I can't put it any better than the fine Mike Massaro did in his release. Toronto FC announced Friday that the club has acquired $50,000 in general allocation money (GAM) from Los Angeles FC in exchange for an international roster spot. Yes, really. GAM for a roster spot, and if you thought long-time lottery protection or future considerations or cash considerations made for odd player moves, how about that one? Seriously. As the gang once sang, they got money for nothing. No mention of chicks for free or blisters on your little finger or maybe a blister on your thumb, but you know what I mean. That's a bit of preamble to the larger point, which is, around these parts at least, I think the TFCs are going to be a very fun story to watch unfold over the next couple of months. I don't know if they'll make the playoffs, it's a long slog to get there, but with the Blue Jays playing for the 2020 or 2021 season, the Pucks in basketball just getting going and the Argos a total afterthought, there's a chance for the Reds to capture some imaginations with a late-season run. Now, this Canadian championship that starts in Vancouver tonight and finishes here next week might not be the biggest of deals, but being back in the CONCACAF Champions League again might be fun. Of course, this year's run and the extra pressure it put on their bodies might have had a very small part to play in the early season injury problems that derailed the MLS season, but there's a chance for them to generate some general interest and that's okay with me. I'll mention this again cause we're not here every day. If you want to play along with the weekend mailbag game, and it's more fun than a barrel full of monkeys, so you should, all you've got to do is click on ask.thestar.ca, ask whatever you want and, presto. There's likely to be an answer here Sunday morning. It really is that simple. Just as I imagine the Raptors adding of Greg Monroe won't change the balance of power in the Eastern Conference, I don't think tacking 6'4" guard Jordan Lloyd on a two-way deal, as the team did yesterday to the end of the roster, is a seismic shift. But they did, and the deal's done, and it means we're one step closer to the start of training camp. Doug Smith is a sports reporter based in Toronto. Follow him on Twitter @SmithReps.